Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told how to voice radio, so today I'm going to be showing you why Zygarde-GX is really, really good now. It took a while. I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, it took a fair while, because we all expected it to be good, well, at least I did when it came out, and it just wasn't. But over the last few weeks, it's been kind of creeping up. It's actually, and PokerStats sent this one out over Twitter, it's got in a top 4 or better at a regional or special event 4 weekends in a row. But it's been flying a little bit under the radar because they've been smaller events. On the 2nd of June at the regional in Sabanyaya, it went and actually got 2nd place, which is quite nice. That was over in Malaysia. 1 week later on the 9th of June, over in Singapore, it gets 2nd place again. Interesting to note, the same player. And then in Hong Kong on the 16th of June, it actually wins with Quan Hung taking the victory. And they're all kind of smaller events. And then Alex Schmensky, a very, very well-respected player, over at the Mexico City Regionals, goes and gets 3rd place. And again, 233 masters, quite small for a regional. But we are getting to the stage now where it's just a little bit, you know what? It's actually starting to be good and we need to pay attention. Of course, one of the questions we need to ask right at the beginning is, why would we play this over Buzzwole? So if we have a quick reminder about Zygarde then, one of the things we see straight away, it's got a weakness to grass rather than a weakness to psychic. Buzzwole is easy to counter at the moment. We've got Mew from Fates Collide, we've got Mewtwo from Evolutions, we've got Mew EX. A lot of people are playing counters, not to mention that Garbodor is a very good card at the moment that is a psychic type. It's easy to counter Buzzwole. It's not that much good grass stuff. Quick quiz, top of your head, you've got to tech in a grass Pokemon to take out something like this into a standard deck. What do? If you're playing counter energy, maybe you want to run with the Shaman from Shining Legends. But even that only works if you had a Pokemon KO'd the previous turn. You can't just bring it up. Obviously, Golisopod's really good, but you've got to be playing a Golisopod deck. And a lot of people at the moment just aren't. So that is basically the main reason you would play it over Buzzwole. It's got a better weakness. Buzzwole has Beast Ring. And Buzzwole has Beast Energy, and Zygarde doesn't have either of those things. But it doesn't really matter, because it's got a better weakness, and it sets itself up. So the first attack, double colorless energy, 50 damage, and you attach 2 fighting energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. Now, generally speaking, we really don't want to attach energy to a Pokemon when it's in the active, using an attack. I've talked about this a lot lately, because something like a Tapu Lele can come up, and instead of hitting you for 80, if it's got a double colorless energy on, it actually hits you for 120, because you've got 4 energy on, rather than 2. But then you can just use one of your other attacks to KO Tapu Lele. So here, although you are accelerating energy to yourself, you are accelerating energy enough that you're actually going to be getting a one-hit KO on something like a Tapu Lele, so you really don't mind. Tapu Lele comes up and then you just get a one-hit KO, and that's okay by me. Once you've got the 4 energy on, Landgraf does 130, but strong energy choice band and you're already up to 180. That's quite nice. And then you add a Diancie Prism Star and you're up to 200. Now, interestingly enough, most of the time you're not going to be playing strong energy because Cell Connector only attaches fighting energy from your discard, and remember that strong energy do not count as fighting energy when they're in the discard. And that actually makes Regirock a really good Pokemon here, because generally speaking you're hitting 130, you add a choice band 160, Diancie Prism Star 180, but that's not enough to get a KO on a Buzzwole or an Ultra Necrozma. So for that reason, you've got to make sure that you're playing Regirock here. Hitting the numbers is really important. Regirock has fallen out of favour in Buzzwole decks. It hardly sees any play at all nowadays. Weirdly enough, in Zygarde decks, it is still an absolutely vital card. Then you've got the GX attack, which should get you a one-hit KO on most stuff. I mean, okay, it only hits 150, but again, Choice Band, 180. Diancie Prism Star, 200. And then Regirock comes in and puts you at 210, which is interesting because without Regirock, you wouldn't get a one-hit KO on a Golisopod GX. So actually here, Regirock EX is absolutely vital in this particular deck, which is kind of interesting. And, of course, you get immunity from EXs and GXs the following turn. It's a good GX attack. It's a Pokemon that sets itself up. And that's one of the interesting things about Zygarde that makes it better than Buzzwole in some situations. You don't have to rely on hitting that max elixir and having an energy in the top 6 cards of your deck. You don't have to rely on hitting that beast ring when your opponent has 3 or 4 prizes remaining. You can just sit and chill and know that your attack will accelerate the energy that you want. And that's actually really, really cool. And put simply, those are the two main reasons it's better than Buzzwole for some people. Better weakness, and you're not relying on item cards to accelerate energy, you're doing it with an attack. Now, when I say we're not relying on Max Elixir, that doesn't mean we don't play Max Elixir, because, of course, we've got 2 deck lists I can show you here. We've got Alex Shmensky's 3rd place Mexico City Regional, and we've got Clive Orr's, which got 2nd place in both Singapore and Sabang Jaya, and they both played for Max Elixir. The difference is here that if you whiff your max elixirs, you can still use the first attack because both lists did play for double colorless energy. You can whiff max elixir and still get the energy on using your main attack. That's not an option that Buzzwole has. Now, the other thing I find very interesting about these 2 deck lists is that the GX attack is great because you get immunity from GXs the following turn. So if you're against something like a Buzzwole, not only can you KO a Buzzwole with this, but then you're not getting KO'd back. Or you can KO an Ultra Necrozma with this, but then you're not getting KO'd back. And you could play Bonnie here, allowing you to use your GX attack one more time. And they didn't. Neither of them chose to play Bonnie in their deck lists. I'm always of the opinion that, you can use Tapu Lele to search it out, maybe play one, it could win you a game. They've gone full consistency, and you can't blame them for this, but both of them decided, you know what, we would rather have the consistency of getting set up than the occasional use of Bonnie. And that really is generally why Zygarde is so good and arguably better than Buzzwole. You've got the weakness, the fact that it accelerates energy to itself, and the GX attack, which has some really, really good uses. 130 for 4 energy is a little bit expensive, but being a Pokemon that is fighting type, having both Diancie Prism Star and Regirock and Choice Band really isn't an issue because the 3 of them get you up to 190 without having to even use strong energy, and of course, both the lists we saw did play a little bit of strong energy. Now, I'm not going to sit and go through the lists exhaustively, but you've still got the fact that you got Brooklet Hill, which is interesting. Although we did actually see Scorched Earth getting played by Clive Orr in his list. Alex Shmensky didn't, and I think I'm on Alex's side here, but you can play Scorched Earth to get a little bit of extra consistency, draw some extra cards here. We saw that Alex played Octillery, whereas Clive went with a bit of the old Oranguru. I'm more of an Octillery man myself, but that is just me. If you want to know about the other attackers, obviously, you've got the non-GX Buzzwole from Forbidden Light. It is way, way too good to not see play. 120 for a single energy on a basic is redonk, especially when Zoroark GX is still really good. Obviously, we got the Sudowoodo from Breakpoint, which is just absolutely phenomenal for its Watch and Learn attack. Taking out something like a Duskmane Necrozma for 2 energy is nuts. Taking out something like a Tapu Bulu for 2 energy is nuts. It's so good. And all 4 of the tops we saw with this all play with Lycanroc. And I don't think I need to go into much detail about Lycanroc in this particular video. It's been played for a very long time with Zoroark and with Buzzwole, since it was released. It brings a Pokemon from the bench up into the active, and it's arguably got the best fighting GX attack. I really like Zygarde-GX attack, and honestly, most of the time in most games, I'm going to be trying to use that one, because taking a KO while having immunity is great. But Lycanroc doing 50 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon just means that it's got the option of taking out Pokemon that Zygarde just might not be able to. I think Zygarde's here to stay, and I do expect this to keep going and going and going in terms of play, in terms of use. I expect to see more and more people top cutting with this because it really is that gosh darn good. But I want to know from you guys, do you think Zygarde's good? And crucially, do you think it's better than Buzzwole? Because they're both big fighting basics. Do you think Zygarde could actually replace Buzzwole? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do just that. And do check out my Dragon Ball Super / video game channel, Wassy Plays. The uploads have been regular lately, and that's wonderful. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.